Hi, and welcome to Dating Dames V2. I'm Jackie, and this is my lovely co-host, Michelle. Whether you're newly single, divorced, or waking up to the possibility of love again, you're in the right place because at Dating Dames, we believe it's not about him, it's about you. Hey, Michelle, and welcome. How are you doing?
I'm great. It's a very sunny day at the moment here in Thailand, so we're not having any
Super.
rain, and that, of course, always lifts my mood.
Absolutely. It is absolutely pouring here in Cape Town, South Africa. And, great day to do some podcasts recording. So today we're going to be taking a couple of steps back, not to the apps or to the texts or how soon should you be moving to WhatsApp debates, but to ourselves. Because before we stepped into the dating arena, there were things we thought we knew, the truths we clung on to, the assumptions we carried. But post-divorce dating is not about picking up where you left off in your 20s. This is a new chapter, new version of yourself. This is a new truth that you get to write. So today we're sharing the 5 truths that we wish we had truly not only known but owned before beginning
Mm.
our date. Because not because we regret a thing, but because we know now that clarity changes everything. The way you see yourself, the way you date, the intention with which you date. So we are here to shift a few things so that the entire journey changes. You become richer and lighter, even fun. Dating becomes an adventure. So let's dive straight in. Michelle, would you take us through the first truth?
Yeah, so I think, as you said, when you can step back and realize or think about why you're embarking on this and what is true for
Mm,
you now, it gives you a sense of kind of power and,
yes.
control to a certain extent, control of yourself and control of what you're looking for. And I think
Mm,
when you do that, it also starts to build confidence. And so the dating experience itself, as we've said a few times, you get this adventure. It's like a gift wrapped adventure learning
oh,
opportunity that is delivered to you. Sometimes you want them and sometimes you don't. Returning that one. But it gives you this gift wrapped opportunity to build your skills, your confidence, and when you're not looking for a particular objective, it's like, oh, I've got to find, the man I'm going to marry next. Then you can
yeah,
be open to everything that happens, good and bad, and you can kind of roll with the punches. And when we roll with the punches, then you start to feel and your kind of your power. You've, you get knocked down, you get yourself up, dust off, and go do it again. And
yes,
that's the confidence that you build that we haven't had because we've been 30 years in a relationship, dealing with that relationship as it was, and you don't really know who you are yet. And here's dating delivered to you as this great opportunity to figure out who you are, to build the confidence in who you are, and that what you want is not insane. And that, that every date, every choice, every boundary, it's out there for you to define and
yeah,
reclaim, figure out who you are. And I think
absolutely.
I think we had, I think, I mean, you should jump in, but I think we both had this idea at the beginning that we would build confidence through this process, but I don't think it was
Absolutely.
quite so clear to us.
I agree with you, Michelle. When I speak to people about dating, one of the first things I mention to them is how you can use dating to rebuild your confidence. And initially, it feels like, you start on step level. It's like stacking the wins. I absolutely love this. It's like stacking the wins, and you go on one date, and then you start observing patterns. You become more aware of things. You don't absorb everything that happens. You are able to differentiate between words only, words and actions. There is so much that you learn. And as a woman, as a human being, as a woman, you become more confident in who you are, what you would like. And one of the things you mentioned, so I'd like to reiterate this, is that, of course, we've been married for like 20, 30 years. We contort ourselves, but it's not just about the compromise of chicken or lamb. No, 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 no. For me, it was about contorting my values, who I am as a person, dimming my light. And that's where things become a little bit dangerous. So when you step back into this dating world and you start rebuilding who you are, the confidence within yourself
Yeah.
as a woman, and the confidence within yourself in the dating setting, it changes everything drastically.
Yeah.
Yes. So we also talk about the shame. Let's talk about truth number two. The you can't carry the shame of a past love into the future and expect to feel free and expect to feel completely different. Just before we started filming the podcast, Michelle and I had a chat about happiness. And often for people, they think of happiness as something external. When I win the race, I will feel happy. When I date a very handsome man, I will feel something different. So it's almost conditional. When I do this, something external, when I do this, something external, something internal will happen. But in fact, that's not how happiness or shame place within our lives. And for me, don't wrap me on the knuckles yet, but shame was a huge part of the divorce, of the separation. At my partner's request, it was, I felt like perhaps I'd done something wrong. Perhaps I wasn't good enough. Perhaps the reason that the marriage ended was because of me. And that, dames, ladies, is the biggest lie you can tell yourself. And it has no place in our dating world. And I feel really strongly about this, as you can probably pick up, because we,
Well, same. Yeah.
right?
I mean, I felt the same because I think, again, at my partner's request, the separation happened. And I immediately, because he said, I'm not happy and I haven't been for a while. And how can
Mm.
I not immediately, but to your point about happiness, how can I not
Yeah.
immediately take that as my fault? He's not happy in our relationship. And yet, as we've talked about in other places and other times, this
Mhm.
relationship is co-created. There should be
Absolutely.
no shame on the part. I mean, we all failed. He failed for not mentioning it.
Yeah.
I failed for
Mhm.
not asking. Okay, now we're
Yes.
equal. Is there shame involved?
Mhm.
We both failed. Okay, maybe. There's
Mhm.
regret, certainly. But
Of
we
course.
created this thing together. And
Yes.
and frankly, I don't know if you were going to say this, but what I've noted in my dating journey is that basically everyone I've been on a date with, almost everyone, is divorced.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. And interestingly, I didn't even consider that at the very beginning because I was so wrapped up in that moment of shame.
Yeah,
And when I was able to move past that point of kind of shedding it all, oh my God, things changed drastically for me. And the secret, the I guess the lesson here is that you can't really take self-blame into the next relationship thinking that things are going to change. You have to shed that because self-blame attracts more of the same behavior. Where
yeah,
self-worth, that's where the real magic begins. That's where the connection lies. So whether it was you or him that walked away, it took courage. It took courage to choose the truth. And I think that is one thing I will always be grateful for was that my partner had the courage to say, hey, Jackie,
agree.
this is working. I'm done, you know. Um, and that is
Mm.
in a there is a strength on his side. And it means that you're no longer willing to abandon yourself anymore for the sake of keeping a relationship intact. And whether it was him, whether it was you, the ending isn't a shameful chapter. It's the beginning of your most honest self yet.
Well, and that phrase just that really resonates with me because
Yeah,
I do feel, I mean, we both talked about this, how we felt like in various ways we sort of dimmed ourselves down. And
yeah,
not, I mean, again, I
absolutely.
was in what most people thought was an incredibly, and I thought was an incredibly successful relationship for many, many years. But
Mhm.
after the fact, I can see what I didn't, um, the parts of me that I abandoned and thought I
Yes.
needed to let go of for the sake of the relationship. So
Mm,
another truth I think that is sometimes hard, especially when we come out of these long relationships, and so our ex-partners are older, and maybe the men that we are starting to date are older, and maybe it seems like they're all like dating younger women. We are clearly too old to be dating, and men just want young, wrinkle-free women
yeah,
on their arm for their candy.
like Andy.
And while there definitely are those men, and as I said, I live in Thailand, and there's quite a lot of older foreign men who end up partnering up with younger Asian women. That's quite normal. And some men
Yes.
will chase youth, they will chase physical beauty, or perhaps they're just chasing someone who will take care of them. Some
Hmm.
of us have done that for many, many years, and maybe that's not our interest anymore. Maybe we're kind
No.
of done taking care of. So that
Mhm.
means any man that's looking for that is not for you.
Right.
You know, it's, and also you will find that if what you're looking for is a high quality relationship, something that's deeper that will be built, that's the guys are not going to be just looking for, youth, because frankly, in many cases, younger women will be more dramatic than older women who will be more stable.
Mhm.
And younger women will have their own expectations. And I think
Yeah,
we can both relate to this because I think
absolutely.
both of our ex-partners have partnered up. And I've recently become aware of some of the expectations his new
Yes.
girlfriend has. And
Yes.
it's no shame for her. I mean, she's coming into a relationship expecting certain things. But,
Mhm.
I don't, I'm not coming with those expectations because I am a free and independent woman with my own financial
Yes.
capabilities, and I don't
Yes.
need a guy to do that. And sometimes younger men are happy to partner up with an older woman for just those
Oh,
reasons.
yeah. Absolutely. And so in this case, your age is not a disadvantage,
Oh.
right? It's your edge. It's
Well, think of
your
all that wisdom you've got like in your handbag now.
absolutely. And you wearing a bag. And the truth number four is that a man's consistency reveals more than charming worlds,
Yeah.
more than charming words in the world. Yes, of course, it is lovely to hear sweet words. It's wonderful to be flirted with, all these beautiful romantic gestures, but do not mistake charisma for character only.
Yeah.
Words can get you off your feet, but it is actions that will show you where you truly stand. And I know both of us have experienced this already when we first started our dating journey, whereby we were totally swept off our feet by words. And it sounded beautiful. It sounded romantic. And I think one of the dangers for women is that we are so much more mental than men are.
Oh, yeah.
We create beautiful stories in our minds, and we joke about this, but after date one, we're planning weddings already. And that's hot words. So do be careful of that. And I think that's one of the beauties of being at this stage of life where we are not or no longer need to be enticed by pretty words only. I remember once saying to a man on a date, you do know I'm not 20, right? You do know you don't need to flatter me with such
I
words.
know I look 20, but
20. I'm here. Let's get on with things. So that, and when you have that feeling, you feel stronger within yourself. You feel more confident within yourself, and it's no longer just charisma that you're looking for, but you want it to be backed up with actions. So, start asking yourself questions like, does he follow through? Does he show up when he says he will? Is his effort sustained, or is it just strong at the very beginning? I remember I had a date once, and he had asked me out, and I think 15 minutes later, it was a call, and because we were both located in other countries, and 15 minutes later, he did not dial into the call, and I remember thinking, he had forgotten about it completely, and I think I wrote him a message to say, he said, "Oh, I'm at a restaurant with my colleagues," and I just wrote a very curt message, "Enjoy," and that was it, and that was the trigger of. Oh, our date. And I remember at that point thinking, this is not for me. This is like our first little chat after we had been seeing each other for a while. If you cannot step up with something as small as this, I'm not sure you'll be able to do it in the future. Anyway,
yeah.
he,
Consistency is everything.
yeah, that's right. Consistency is everything because it does show, it speaks about reliability. It speaks about, it's a reflection of emotional maturity. And I think at this stage for both of us, our time is very important. Our time and our energy is very important. And to me, it
Mm.
showcased, do you respect my time and do you respect yours? And then also, do you have the capacity to build something real for yourself and for me and for us? So please
Yeah.
enjoy the comments and, the smiles, the sweet messages
Well,
that
that's
you're going to see.
honestly, it's
Beautiful.
it's part of the fun. It's what makes you feel
Yes,
alive. And so, in a way, it's not like you discount every flirtation because that's kind of part of the game, right?
absolutely not.
When you sort of wink or you make a little, sexy comment, I mean, it's all part of the game. But the
Mhm,
game, if what you want is a longer term game, then you have
mhm.
to make sure that the words are more than just words, and
Yeah,
uh, and and accept them or just enjoy them for the moment and then realize it's probably never going to go anywhere. And that was fun. I was
yeah.
alive.
And
We
that,
had a fun
and then
evening.
absolutely. And then you move on. But always see to it that the words and the actions are aligned. Um, and this is something that I'm also working on, which is observe the words, observe the behavior, appreciate it all because it is
Mhm.
absolutely all.
Yeah.
Um, but do not absorb everything. So
Yeah.
enjoy them, but watch for the patterns because any man can talk a good game about the present or the future, but a man of substance, somebody that wants to build with you, that's what you're looking for in his
Yeah.
actions.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you said it earlier that, as women, and I do this a lot, and, even I think
Mhm.
normal women and then weird women like me, we get in our heads and you can tease out. In fact, I said this to a friend recently where she was like, "Oh, we have this amazing video call and he's this and
Mm,
he's that and he's the other thing and I really like him. He seems so cool." Da, da, da." And I said, "Hang on there, honey. That's wonderful, but don't be planning the wedding yet." And
correct.
And so interestingly, fast forward, he came for a visit. They had one date. She was telling me today,
That was it.
nah.
Mm.
So
Absolutely,
enjoy
yeah.
it. Enjoy the possibility, but just don't get too
Be
caught up that
cautious.
that's
Yep,
reality.
absolutely.
Okay. And I think the last thing kind of related to that though is very much this the final truth that we will share is this idea about
Yep.
energy. And we
Mm,
can all kind of define energy in different ways, and we have different ways of reading it and what we're looking for. But definitely tune into the energy. And the energy isn't going to lie. And I have found, and this is, I'm only now probably getting much better at accepting and engaging with my intuition, where I thought, oh, on
mhm,
date one, I noticed this. And by date three, I'm like, okay, it was definitely true. I gave him extra time. I made sure it wasn't just a bit of nerves or a bit of, just kind of
yeah.
bumbling around, getting to know each other. But I did read the energy and what it said about him and what I'm
Mhm,
looking for. And
mm.
it's about
And
me.
how do
How
you
did I
feel?
feel? How
Mm,
did I feel either in the moment or even after the fact? Because I find sometimes I don't process very much in the moment. I'm too busy kind of, responding or reacting. Um, but did it make you feel good? Did it make you feel sort of like dimmed? Did it make you feel like, awkward? Did it make you feel,
yeah.
friendly, sensual, sexual, safe, uneasy? Um,
Mm,
feel that is this person positive? Are they judgmental? I mean, there are many ways to think about energy, but don't dismiss some undercurrent because, Malcolm Gladwell will tell you, and many people will tell you that your gut is processing a lot of information that our brains can't make sense of in the moment. And
mm,
that energy, and back to my friend who had the thing with the video, she also had another date where she said, I just felt so comfortable with this
mm,
person. And that's what
mm.
I'm looking for. Is it comfort,
Yes.
safety, warmth,
Mm,
ease? And
yeah.
so pay attention to energy.
Absolutely, absolutely. And if you've been dating on autopilot, hoping that the next man will make you feel different, will bring you joy and happiness, maybe it's time to stop and pause and reflect and ask yourself different questions about what shifted me and what do I still need to do for myself. And remember, these five truths they're not rules, but they are
No.
reminders your value, your vision, and the power you have to lead with intention in
Mm.
your life. And this is very important to me. Lead with intention in your life on your dating journey. Because when you date from this place, it's no longer about chasing connection, it's about creating it. And that changes everything. So I do hope that this episode has sparked something within you. And please share it with a friend, share it with a family member, and help us grow our community of dating dames.
And if you're looking for more guidance or just some more ridiculous anecdotes about our dating journeys, come find us on Facebook, Instagram at Dating Dames B2.
Until next time, keep embracing the adventure, trust your instincts, and above all, remember it is not about him, it's about you.